How do you get rid of weeds? That's a very common question, and people offer all kinds of advice. But one I hear a lot is that boiling water will kill the weeds. You can go on social media and you'll find 1,000 people that say it works. But I've never seen one person to actually prove that it works. What people do is they come out, they pour boiling water on the plant, the leaves shrivel up and die, or they look like they died, and they declare a victory. The plant is dead. What I suspect is that the hot water burns the leaves that you see, has almost no effect on the roots. They'll just come back and the plant will regrow. So in this video, we're going to test this theory. Does boiling water kill weeds? And I'm going to show you what it does right away, and then I'm going to show you the same spot weeks later to see if those weeds come back. Let's see if boiling water really kills weeds. So here are the weeds that I've decided to test. I have a really nice healthy dandelion here, and we're going to pour boiling water on that and see what happens. I also have some ajuga here that's actually filling in the bed, so I don't really consider it a weed. But since it's growing right here beside the dandelion, I can also water this guy. I also have some other weeds here which I think are goldenrod. There's one here, another couple here. Actually, one stem is hard, so I know this plant was growing here last year, so this is a larger plant. And then I have other couple weeds back here. I'm not sure what the name of these are, but they're growing all over my property. They're flowering right now in early spring. It's actually quite a nice little plant. The problem is that the seed pods are up here, and then when you touch them, they shoot out, and I usually get them in my eye a couple times a year. So I don't like this plant. But we'll treat this one and see what that does. Now I have to go get some boiling water. I have a full kettle of boiling water here. Well, at least it was boiling when I was in the house. I don't know how much of this you're supposed to use. Nobody ever tells you. But the leaves are getting covered pretty well here. So 3 weeds there. These are bigger plants. I'll put a little more water on here. Okay, you can see that it's hot. The steam's coming off of here. Alright, come back in the afternoon and see what kind of damage we've done. It's been about 5 hours. These look almost normal. Very little damage on a leaf. This little guy here looks like it has a little more damage, but it's still quite green. Same with this one. There's a couple leaves are damaged. Now the ajuga looks almost normal. I see very little damage on it. The dandelion, a lot of leaves have turned brown and they're laying on the ground. Most of the leaves are still green. These weeds back here, the one on the left is almost no damage. This one over here doesn't look very good. A lot of the leaves are browned off. The little one here, it looks pretty good. 5 hours after pouring boiling water on these plants, it's pretty clear they're not dead. I guess we'll come back tomorrow and see if something happens. Time to do an update to see if the boiling water killed off our weeds. As you can see, the dandelion wasn't harmed at all and it's flowering really well. Beside it, we had a couple of ajuga plants. One of them looks completely dead and 2 of the others are still quite green and growing. So it did seem to affect them to some extent. These weeds weren't bothered at all. They're growing just fine. Now there are 3 other weeds in this area that were treated with the hot water, and all 3 of them seem to be dead. What you see growing there is clover, and that wasn't there when we poured the hot water. Well, based on this simple test, I'd say that boiling water doesn't work on established plants. and it doesn't work on plants that have a good root system. The ajuga does seem to have been killed off. Ajuga has a very shallow root system, and that's probably why. The water got down and damaged the roots enough so that the plant died. The other weeds that we poured the water on also have a very shallow root system, and you can tell that by the fact that they're really easy to pull out of the ground. Boiling water also probably works well on small seedlings because they have such a small root system. I think trying to treat established weeds with boiling water is a waste of time. The other thing is it's fairly dangerous. Imagine walking in and out of the house with boiling water all the time. And besides that, you need a lot of water. We treated a very small area of weeds, and we killed off 2 of the 4 types of weeds. Imagine trying to do a whole driveway this way. It would take forever.